$15 is coming for XRP in the short term. And it's so fascinating to see. There's a broad range of price predictions from reputable chart analysts. And it's just so fascinating that even almost all of the more conservative predictions from reputable chart analysts, almost all of them acknowledge, yeah, XRP is probably going to hit at least $10, even the most conservative ones. And they could be correct, and maybe we do end up in a point where some of you are going to be disappointed because it only hits close to $10. It's possible, but usually the truth lies somewhere in between. So if you've got some calling for this extreme, which would be that lower price in, and some calling for the other extreme, which is $30-$40, and then you got something in the middle, maybe that's where it's going to land. So maybe it's 15 or 20 or 25. I don't pretend to know. We'll find out together, but it is fascinating that even Cointelegraph is acknowledging the potential for this after spending the last decade crapping all over XRP and trying to scare you into selling your XRP because they suffer from XRP derangement syndrome and just all these endless FUD narratives that XRP, oh no, it could fall out of the top 10, and oh no, it's going to go down. And they outrageously pick on XRP compared to other coins. It's just fascinating, isn't it? Yet here we are. They don't want more egg on their face, and now they're acknowledging that $15 XRP don't sound so cray-cray. Well, isn't that something? Just a matter of time, my friends. We're not going to have to wait that much longer. We are in the late stages of this bull run. Even if the analysts who are calling for this to stretch out into 2026 end up being correct, we're still almost all of the way there. But the cool thing is, the most exciting price action occurs in the last 10% of the bull market. I mean, that's when it goes to crazy town, seriously. So we've got a lot to look forward to here. XRP is not done. But before going further, I do this at 99 cents, so it's a little bit down over the last 24 hours. XRP, our Bitcoin rather likewise, $115,552. So here's the 24-hour chart for XRP, and now here's the 24-hour chart for Bitcoin. Both sliding down, the market's moving in tandem. This has nothing to do, just to be clear, the move down has nothing to do with fundamentals for XRP or Bitcoin even. It's just the market moving in tandem here. But things are going to go much higher. In fact, here is a post from on-chain analytics firm Swissblock, which consistently does fantastic work here. They shared this post. Wrote, Bitcoin has weathered the FOMC storm and its volatility. And that, of course, was a rate cut day a couple days ago. And they wrote, there was no structural risk event. On the contrary, the market is stabilizing. From here, Bitcoin can start building a bullish continuation phase. And this is coming based on historic precedent. This is a Bitcoin risk oscillator chart, and it's proprietary, so I don't know exactly what's put into it, but it is a fascinating metric which can help you grasp what is probable in the short term here. This is one of the many things that they're looking at to come to the conclusion that, there's a real good chance here that this is going to move to the upside, which you want to see. You do want to see Bitcoin move higher, ideally hit another all-time high, enter its final parabolic phase. Even as Bitcoin dominance, the market dominance decreases, the price can increase, but the market dominance decrease as altcoins also rocket to the upside, substantially outpacing Bitcoin. Historically, that's the norm, especially for this portion of the market cycle. That's where the opportunity is for life-changing wealth. It's in coins like XRP and other altcoins because they haven't moved yet. But they're going to. Indeed. Did you see this news? I talked about this in a video just last night. Here's one of many chart analysts who have noticed this and was talking about Crypto Insight UK. This is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. That's the total 2 chart, but he also references total 3, which is the top 125 coins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And he says, we managed to close at all-time high yesterday for both total 2 and total 3. Now, folks, as I highlighted in a video last night, that happened on the same day that the Russell 2000 small cap stocks also hit a new all-time high close for the first time in almost 4 years. It is not a coincidence. I'm telling you, folks, there's no shortage of evidence that equities move in tandem with the crypto market on the whole. They absolutely do. If an investor is invested in both crypto and the stock market, and they have an increased appetite for risk, that's going to flow into not just stocks, but also crypto. So this is crucial because we've never seen a full-blown XRP face-melting rally and alt season without the Russell 2000 ripping to the upside. Now, it is back down slightly today, even though the S&P 500, by the way, did hit another new all-time high today. So we're still moving a little bit, so maybe a little bit of chop is remaining, but this bodes well. This is a very good indicator that things are about to get way, way, way more exciting, and the blockchain backer has been talking about this. In fact, he's the reason that I realized in the first place the importance of recognizing the correlation between the Russell 2000 and alt season. He really has been beating that drum for years now, and he absolutely gets the credit for me recognizing that. And I always want to share the good work of people who are spreading messages like that and sharing data like that, which just absolutely makes sense. And so his most recent video this morning titled "Big Week End as All-Time High Daily Close for Altcoin Market in Russell 2000 Breakout Waiting Room." So he knows that what is most probable by a lot is that this thing is going to rip to the upside. We're just sitting here waiting. And all of the best analysts in crypto recognize this. Here's a post from Crypto Wizard. On the left, you've got Ethereum, and on the right, you've got the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10 coins by market cap. That chart is called Others. And here he wrote, "Rally upcoming? We've seen this before, haven't we? Others has broken out after 49 days of sideways price action. Ethereum did the same before it exploded upside." And so he's noticing that yeah, Others showing a bit of strength right here. And he's showing on an individual level here with Ethereum, this type of thing plays out and then rips to the upside. He's just noting Others looks like it's about to do the same thing as the chart on the left. Here's a post from Mikey Bull Crypto, which I just found fascinating. He wrote, "Whenever September turned out to be bullish for Bitcoin, it was followed by a huge rally in Q4. Get ready for alt season in Q4." And that's just a fascinating bit of trivia there for you, because September's normally a bad year. I mean, the odds of it being a bad year rather than a good year historically, pretty high. I mean, you can see which months in September going back to 2013 were red versus green. But when you do get green, the next quarter looks pretty damn good, including last year, by the way. And yeah, December was slightly down, but you had a massive rally in Q4 in October and November. So it'd be interesting to see, assuming September does end up being green, and it certainly is to this point, what does that mean for October, November, December? Because history does rhyme with itself, and it's just one more thing indicating, yeah, we're probably going higher. And of course, I think it's more important to look at the global M2 and the business cycle. But this is just one more thing you can look at to be like, well, also on top of that, history rhymes. It's just one more ancillary thing you can look and be like, kind of interesting. It's shaping up well so far. It would just make sense for us to have a wild Q4 and for XRP to finally melt faces. Here's a post from Dom. This is the XRP US oil chart. And he wrote, "It's still amazing how accurate this chart remains in connection to the USD chart. We had a perfect failed breakout on the downtrend, shared above," and that's a separate post. For the sake of time, I'm not going to run through the whole thread. And he says, "Now bulls are attempting it again. Once this breakout succeeds, probability jumps that we go for all-time high here." And so he thinks there's a real shot for that happening sooner rather than later, and he's noted that this goes first, and at least in recent times, recent history, XRP USD chart then follows. So yeah, shooting back for all-time high and then just getting finally to that face-melting portion of the rally, still in the cards, still coming. Here's a post from chart analyst Greg Crypto. "XRP ready to move. As long as XRP doesn't close below $3 on the daily or 3-day time frame, we're set for takeoff. A wick on lower time frames to $2.90 to $2.95 is still a possibility." And certainly we've been down there today. I mean, this is the 24-hour low at $2.99. We'll see where it closes. I don't know yet. Again, now as I record this, it's 4:36 p.m. You guys are future people, so you can figure that out. But either way, we're like right in that range. So this could end up looking pretty damn good. And by the way, that level, it's kind of key. There was this post earlier this morning from chart analyst CW, and he wrote, "XRP is about to reach a buy wall zone." And XRP was $3.02 this morning when he posted that. And you can see that range, kind of the range close to, well, a little bit above what Igor Crypto was talking about. There's a lot of buying action there's a lot of liquidity there, a lot of buying to be done there. So that could be strong support potentially anyway, based on that particular metric. So it's just kind of funny that we're getting down to that level, and wouldn't you know it, right where the chart analyst is recognizing there's some liquidity there. We're, at least at the time I'm recording this, hanging out above that. So we'll see if it continues to hold. But there's a reason those types of things happen. Here's a post from chart analyst XR Punky. It says, is XRP getting ready for its next leg up to at least $5? Weekly chart looks beautiful. And that was last night. And so that's yet another chart analyst who thinks that in the short term, this thing is about to rip. Do you see how many chart analysts in the short term are thinking there's a reasonable chance that we're going to see some serious fireworks here? And I'll just tell you this, the more analysts that I follow that say the same or similar thing, the more likely it is that thing is actually going to happen. And I'm not saying it's all of them. It's certainly not. But it's enough that I'm starting to notice some similar perspectives directionally in terms of what's likely to happen in the short term. And then we get to this little article from Cointelegraph. XRP price gearing up for breakout. Why target is $15. And again, it's nice to see that they're not exclusively crapping on XRP, but isn't that something? And by the way, they will still post crap articles. They have over the last year too. It's just, I think it just seems to me it's like whatever they have to do to get clicks and also satisfy the people that work for them that have XRP derangement syndrome, because I don't think they can help themselves but to write BS articles to scare people about XRP, even when it makes no logical sense. I'll tell you what, even if I covered nothing else, I could literally just have a YouTube channel where all I do is talk about Cointelegraph, talking about XRP and ripping it to shreds. That's how much stuff they put out about XRP. I guess it's for the clicks, but man, it's just funny to see how like they flip. It's like, we hate XRP, we love XRP. And sometimes on the same day, why XRP could crash. And then, oh, why XRP could rally to $15 from the same place on the same day. And I know sometimes it's different authors, but they have to know the optics of that aren't great, right? Shouldn't they know that? Anyway, piece reads as follows. XRP price action has painted bull flag patterns on the weekly time frame that could result in a massive breakout to as high as $15. The first is a smaller one that formed in mid-June and was resolved earlier this week when the price broke above the flag's upper boundary at $3. The measured target for this pattern, the flag's height added to the breakout point, is $5.80, up 46% from the current level. Even Cointelegraph is highlighting this. That's because they are not. Look, if they didn't, and all they wrote was crap articles about XRP, they would have mega egg on their face. I mean, they have in the past, but finally they're doing this because they recognize it. Whether they like it or not, they're going to be dragged into reality, kicking and screaming. Like that's just how this works. So at least they're highlighting perspective from analysts that recognize in the short term this is seriously plausible, and that it could go way higher than just $5.80. Anyway, take a look at this. On the daily chart, XRP is forming a bull flag, a continuation pattern that often signals the next leg higher, said analyst CryptoPulse, noting the emergence of the pattern in late August, adding, quote, XRP could be gearing up for its next breakout towards $5 plus, end quote. The second is a bigger bull flag pattern that has been forming since November 2024, projecting an even higher target for the altcoin. XRP confirmed the breakout in July in a rally that pushed the price toward 9-year highs above $3.66. With the pattern still in play, XRP price could continue its uptrend toward the measured target of $15.80, up 408% from the current levels. Well, I don't make predictions myself. That's just not my shtick, but I don't think that's crazy. I think that is safely supplanted in the realm of reality. We'll see what happens here, folks. But if you're not excited right now, I don't know what is functionally wrong with you. Like, how could you not be? Everything is so perfectly primed. We've been waiting years for the market to be this primed again. Literally several years. And here we are on the cusp of, like, the most greatness we could ever potentially have as XRP holders. Like, this will be the biggest